Sweet surrender.
I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening.
Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Louisville, where our mission is to transform ourselves and the world through love. Got a little bit of feedback if you want to back it down. Thank you. Let's open in prayer. As everyone's coming in and getting themselves settled, let's just take a moment. Take a moment in that settledness and allow ourselves to become present. To be open and receptive to that living spirit of truth. To be open to what God has in store for us this day and in this moment. As we come together with joy and gratitude. Joy and gratitude for that opportunity to be able to come and freely worship a God of our understanding beyond the boundaries of anyone else's constraints or thinking. We get to worship how we choose to worship. And for that, we are grateful. And there is a joy to be able to gather together with each other, to see old friends, and to meet new friends we have yet to meet. And so it is from that place of joy and gratitude we say, thank you, God. Let's say that together. Thank you, God. One more time. Thank you, God. One with zeal and enthusiasm. Thank you, God. Hold on. So, want to just acknowledge all the volunteers that are here today. Thank you. Special shout out to Carla, Knack, who is going to be doing our meditation. Also want to thank our music team. Two highlights. Our special guest speaker today is Mark Helm. Yes. Mark exudes humility. I think he lifts my heart. And a special guest with Andrea Lane, our guest singer, who comes to us from California. And I'm not kidding you, it is like having an angel stand up here and sing to us today. So thank you, Andrea. One quick story. If you look up, you'll see a set of balloons. So yesterday there was a young lady who was getting her one-year medallion in here at an AA meeting. And her granddaughter was with her, and when everyone kind of cheered her coming up, she let go of her balloons. And as a probably 5-year-old would be, it upset her. And Grandma said, don't be upset, you just gave your balloons to God. And so this little girl goes, God's walking around with my balloons, and she was so happy. She just had a smile that you just wouldn't believe. And another thing, I'm going to invite my wife, Robin, up. She's not going to say, yep, now. She's not going to talk, but... So I put this on Facebook a week ago while Robin was out of town. As everyone knows, first off, I like to cut off any chance for rumors, innuendos, or parking lot conversation if I can. And second off is I like to be transparent. So about a year ago, Robin and her daughters reconciled after quite a bit of tension between them over her divorce from their father and her marriage to me. My thinking was marrying me would be a challenge for most people. So, but that probably had nothing to do with it. So they kind of reconciled, and the daughters both said, we need you here. We need you to be part of our lives. We need you to be part of our grandchildren's life. I think in one case it was, at that point, the one granddaughter was 15, and the daughter was realizing how she was when she was 15. It was terrifying her. And she needs a sound, sane matriarch there to help the family. So with that, we set an intention to see what was available to support her on her journey. And she was offered an opportunity to apply for a job by the state of Minnesota, which accepted her. She gets to work outside the field of domestic violence, which wears on anybody. She gets a 45% increase in pay, and she gets better benefits. And she called me from when she was back in Minnesota seeing a sister that I woke up this morning and made pancakes for my grandbabies. And, it's like, she may love me, but there's no way I can compete with pancakes and grandbabies. So, Robin, so first off, what I said in my Facebook post, this has nothing to do with us. This is me supporting her as she supported me on my spiritual journey when I went to Kansas City to become a minister, as I traveled around the country speaking and trying out for church, as she uplifted herself and uprooted herself from her home to come to Louisville. So this is me supporting her back. So that's the one thing. We're good. We're good? We're good. We're good. Okay. So... So we're as committed as ever to each other and to having this relationship continue to work and flourish and to express the love that we know we have for each other in an alternative manner, with her being 775 miles away. So we don't know what that looks like yet, so don't ask me, because I will tell you what I tell everybody. I don't know. So it will unfold. The other thing is, I'm here. I'm here fully. I'm fully in to be present for what this community is up to, for how we are transitioning, very intentional. I have no plans at this point to leave in the midst of that. The way I describe it, it'd be like we've gone through a 5.5-year pregnancy, but I wouldn't get to be in the birth room and I wouldn't get to hold the baby. I plan to be here holding this baby as it births whatever we're birthing together. So if you have any questions of what that looks like, my stock answer is going to be, I don't know. So with that, we bless you, Robin, on your journey. With that, Phil, I think morning has broken, so bring us home.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day. Please stand and join us in singing Morning is Broken.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the springing, fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden so plain. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the springing, fresh from the word.
Thank you, and you may be seated. Last week, we distributed a devotional guide that Carla, Knack, our LUT, put together for us. It has little prayers, poems, and things from people like Deb Reinhardt Brocious, from Reverend Gwen Mosier, a haiku from Alex Rohleder, little things on gratitude from Doreen Stein, A Community of Care by Jeanette and Mark Flesh. There's all sorts of things. A nice little thing from Faith Hoover. Closing prayer, an opening prayer and closing thoughts. If you did not get one of these devotional guides, would you please raise your hand now, and the ushers will come forward. Keep your hands up for a couple minutes because it's going to take a bit to get them. So we invite you to use this like you would use any Silent Unity devotional guide that comes in the mail. It is to guide us through this journey that we are on together of discovery and newness, to keep us centered in gratitude, keep us centered in our faith, keep us centered in that possibilities that are unfolding before us. So thank you. And there, we have plenty of them, so if you know anybody who you think could utilize one for whatever they're going through in life, these are free. Take a couple if you'd like. Unity also is a prosperous, compassionate, inclusive spiritual community, seeing the unlimited possibilities available to all people. So one of the things we like to do on Sunday morning is, if you are a first-time visitor, would you raise your hand as I'm raising my hand? We got a couple down front, and we got one down front here, please. Keep your hand up for a second so our usher can get to you. This is a packet of information about the Unity movement. There's one in the middle there too, Shirley, when you turn around. There's a packet of information about the Unity movement and about the Unity, this Unity church. There's all sorts of information in there. There's also a CD that's available for you. It's a healing CD that has some prayers and some meditations around healing. That is there. There's also a card. If you fill it out and take it down to our welcome desk, we will welcome you profusely and just welcome you into our community. There's a candle. The candle is a gift from the congregation so that we can easily identify you after the service and answer your questions and be generally welcoming and greeting to you. Answer your questions about how to move around the building, where the bathrooms are, how to get a cup of coffee, all that. And there's an affirmation that says, as you light the candle, know that that light of Christ, that God light, is already lit within you. And all that's important, but I think probably the most important thing that we ever say is that where you are on your spiritual journey, wherever that may be, you are welcome here. We welcome you, we bless you, and we behold the living presence of God in you. Can we welcome our first-time guests? And as that welcoming community, we also like to welcome each other. And we can do that in a variety of ways. We can do it with a handshake. We can do it with a wave. We can do it with a hug. But let's acknowledge that everybody's at a different place on their spiritual journey. So if you would like a hug, put your hands out. And if somebody hugs you, that's great. If somebody puts their hand out to make a handshake, then shake their hand. So let's greet each other.
I totally got it. I know. Say what? I told her I'm gonna have to find a way to get you on the side. I'm so Thank you, Robert. Morning has broken like the morning, born of the one
Light, Eden's soft way. Praise with elation, praise every morning. God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the spring, fresh from the word.
Thank you, and you may be seated. And I was remiss, sometimes I forget because my mom passed away 20 years ago, to wish everyone Happy Mother's Day. So thank you. We always like to anchor our service with an affirmation. Today we have two. First is our core value of inclusion. So we will say this one together. Together. I love who I am, my body, its uniqueness. And now our generosity affirmation. I am an exuberant, joyful expression of spirit, participating fully in the principle of generosity. And now as we move into our time of meditation with the singing of the Lord's Prayer, there will be a time of silence at the conclusion of the Lord's Prayer as our oneness blessers and energy workers bless the congregation.
O Heavenly Spirit, who in love abideth, we worship Thee, we praise Thy holy name. Teach us Thy children evermore to love Thee. Thy will be done in earth as heaven today. Teach us Thy children evermore to love Thee. Thy will be done in earth as
glory, world without end, forevermore. Amen.
And so it is. The daily word for Sunday, May 12th, 2019, motherly love. I give thanks for the motherly love of God in all its human expressions. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore has been called the mother of unity. Myrtle wrote, "It is my great joy to perceive somewhat of the mother side of God, the divine love that never fails." In prayer, I bless all who have played a motherly role in my life, not just the mother whose love gave me birth. I bless everyone, male or female, who has shared with me the divine love that never fails. Everyone who has nurtured me, who has encouraged me by believing in my potential for good, has blessed me with the motherly love of God. Just as I have received, I give love in return, sharing comfort and understanding. I am grateful to be an expression of motherly love. Isaiah 66:13, "As a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem." Isaiah 66:13. Today's daily word, motherly love.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
I'm just so thankful for each one of your heart lights this morning. And today, I'm going to get you to take a little journey with me, because I don't know about you, but if I'm listening to my radio and the station isn't coming in real good, I hate that static that we get. So we're going to go above and beyond that. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. And I would ask you to gently roll your shoulders. And let them settle in a comfortable spot. Gently turn your head from side to side and let it rest where it feels good. And as you silently say the mantra, while we take a deep breath, we're going to say, peace. Be still. Peace. Be still. Nice, big, slow breath in. Gently let it out. This is your sacred pause today. The most important thing is that you feel the loving embrace of being joined with Spirit. You are safe. You are secure. And we're going to untether ourselves from this world. Please join me as we float safely and securely up to the beautiful dome of our building and through that beautiful Star of David, passing those joyful balloons on our way through. Imagine now as you look out at our neighborhood, up further still, you can see the beauty and symmetry of the streets and of that glittering Ohio River running right beside this beautiful place. Up further still, to the level of the clouds, feel their soft embrace on your face as you float up and through those. And now when you look down, you see a region. The boundaries blur further as you ascend. And now you see the continental United States. How beautiful. And out further still to that absence of sound in dark space. And from this perspective, you get the view that the astronauts had of that turning beautiful green, blue, white ball that is our Earth home. And you notice, you don't see the boundaries here between states or countries. You get to experience the view of your higher self, your soul, as you take in this scene in total quiet around you, nothing to interfere, a clean channel of oneness with Spirit. And as we're here, we're going to pause for a few moments and we're going to listen. Boy, we can hear every tiny sound. And we're going to listen for that intuition that's been nudging at us. At that thought we've been pushing away to do at a later time. We're going to listen for Spirit's voice as we go into the silence. as you take a last long look at the panorama around you, consider what you might like to jettison and ask to be recycled in love in the universe, and what you want to bring back with you from this perspective. Just as Jesus showed us, we can step away from the noise, from the lure of our 5 wonderful senses, and get to a place of quiet. So as we make our gentle descent out of space, back into Earth's orbit, gentle, secure, safe. As we come through the clouds, we feel the warmth of the sun on us, a wonderful way to welcome us back to Earth. Back to the regional view, to the city view, right back through that Star of David and into the pew where you've been sitting. Listen for that still small voice. Get away from the chaos or clutter, whatever is hindering your clear connection with God. We are one, and so it is. Amen.
Take off your mask. I can see you anyway. Reveal your glory and all the blessings today. And let the rain wash over your soul. If there's any pain, let it go. Who's gonna run you? The truth or the lie? Which way are you voting? I am voting to fly. Down let the rain wash over my soul. If there's any pain, let it go. I'm taking off my mask. You can see me anyway. You can see my glory. You can see my pain. Down at the rain, wash over my soul. There's any pain, I'm letting it go.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. So we were asked, some of us, to share what unity means to us. And you've heard some interesting shares, like Alan sharing that when he got here, what he experienced was community. It's kind of hard to put into words what unity means to me. So I'll take my mask off and kind of share. When I got here, it was late 1985 or early 1986 when I came through that back door. And who I was for myself was someone who was really hurting. For myself, I related to myself as someone who was broken and had a life that didn't work very well. I was fairly new, a couple years into sobriety, some 12-step work, and I learned early on in 12-step work that recovery is a spiritual solution, and that really scared the tar out of me because I did not in any way relate to myself as a spiritual person. But what I saw was people who were getting better and getting well and living life actually had a spiritual solution. And I was on a quest to find one. And I can't remember exactly how I heard about unity, but I ended up coming in here. And what I heard, one of the first things I heard was that no matter where I am on my spiritual journey, I'm welcome here. And there were a lot of places I weren't that welcome. And so it really made a difference. I was the guy that sat in the back for about a year, didn't really talk to anybody. Would go downstairs, have a cup of coffee by myself after the service, and then kind of head out. I also learned that I didn't have anything that I needed to believe. Like there was no creed that I had to accept, and that made a lot of difference to me because that allowed me to grow at my own rate. And when I got here, I'd never really had a healthy relationship with a woman, and I was pretty broke at the time, and there weren't a lot of prospects when I first walked in the door of that changing much. But this was one of the few places I could come to. It wasn't the one of the few places I could come to where I was accepted just how I was and nobody was really trying to change me in any way. So I felt freed up to come here. And I came here a lot, actually. After about 6 months, I started coming to the classes. And back then, there weren't a lot of things online, and there weren't as many books and coaches and stuff like that. So I remember one time it was Thursday night, and Richard Thomas had indicated, man, you've been here every night this week. And I looked back, and I remember, yeah, I'd been Monday to, you're right, I'd been here every single night. And I was just eating up what I could get here. And so after about a year and a half, I ended up meeting my wife here, Rebecca. Happy Mother's Day. That could be another whole talk in itself. But by then, I had something that I could offer a relationship. And it was the first healthy relationship I'd really ever had. And shortly after meeting Rebecca, here at the church, I ended up meeting a guy who gave me a job, and or gave me an opportunity, I should say, in real estate. I was a real estate agent at the time, living on commissions. Life was a little challenging. I ended up getting like a base of some type, and he was running a development company. And for the first time, I got to go in and work with developers and see how they thought and how they worked. And that was one of, not the first, but one of the first manifestations I ever got from using the principles that I was learning here. What I was learning as I was coming here was that you put your attention on what you want to create in life. and not on what your problems are and not on, how you fix life and fix people. Put your attention on what you want to create. And I was wanting to create security, a job that was fulfilling. And shortly after I started working there, I realized that, in fact, indeed, I had manifested that. So I was here, I don't know, a couple years, and I had met my wife. I had a job. I can remember my father saying, "Boy, I don't know much about that church you go to, but if I were you, I'd keep going there." So literally everything today I have in some way or shape has evolved out of unity. I really dove deep into the classes and what I could learn here. And what I learned was that my core practice is still meditation. I learned meditation to a large degree from being here. And what I have experienced from the spiritual work I've done here is that for us, for me, life is like a partnership with Spirit. And when I came through that door in 1985, 86, believe me, there was no partnership with Spirit going on. My job is to keep my attention on what I want for myself, what I want for the world, what I want for my family. My job is to keep my attention on what we want to manifest. It's Spirit's job to deliver that. And what I've learned is that always happens. I mean, it can't not happen if we play the part that we were meant to play. In no way, believe me, in no way is my life perfect. But challenges and problems today, they don't occur like challenges and problems. I used to think that at some point when I get it all together, or when you get it all together, you won't have challenges and problems anymore. And I realized, no, that's not the case. My problem was I kept having the same problems over and over again. And what I learned was that, no, we can actually create exciting challenges for ourselves. We can create challenges that are worth giving your life to, that are worth giving the next 10 years of your life to. So I went on a mission to create big challenges and big problems for myself. And if I look back at what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis now, I really could not have pictured it in any shape or form in 1986 when I came in here. I went on just recently come back almost from a 3-year dive and study into spiritual principles on my own, and I used all the stuff I had learned here, the spiritual practices and principles, and then I did research on my own, connecting science and some of the other new thought churches to what I've learned in it, and we just had on it. And what we got in our class was that life is, in our universe, life is always expanding. Life is always becoming more. If you, from the big level down to the small level, if you look out in a telescope, the universe is expanding at the speed of light in every direction. Life is always becoming more and expanding. It is our natural state, my natural state, yours, to always be expanding, be becoming more. And what that has done is it's freed us up to take on and really grow. And each day, my goal is to be a better person than I was the day before. And that's not just on a personal level either. It's like on a community level here. Our church is growing, and our church is expanding, and our church is becoming more. If we move to the church we're going to move to, which you saw up there. That's us expanding and being a better version of unity in the world today. What I see is that as we move, we'll be in a position to affect more and more people's lives by being there. It's a larger church, and anyway, it's just a very exciting thing to be a part of. I know 50 years from now, no one will really know, me or us too much. But what's fulfilling is that the work that we're doing on ourselves and the work that we're doing together as a community will really make a difference for future generations that are coming past us. We envisioned in our class, a world where children are born into a conversation that anything is possible, that you are unlimited. Those weren't the conversations I was born into. But there's the possibility of who we're being now and the work that we're doing on ourselves and the work that we're doing as a community, that's what future generations will be born into. A world where the conversation is anything is possible. You are unlimited in your potential and possibility. That's what my spiritual work has given me, and that's what I see is possible for this community. So to kind of answer the question, what has unity meant to me? Well, almost everything. Almost everything I have in my life has come from who I have become as I've done the spiritual work that I've learned how to do here at Unity. And for that, I thank you guys.
Thank you, Mark. You inspire me. You do. You really inspire me. James, do you know how to get this back at the beginning? Okay. Valerie, can you give him a hand? So what I want you to do while Valerie and James figure out how to start this over, that's Mark's story. I want you to, for the next 3 minutes and 38 seconds, I want you to watch our spiritual journey unfold and imagine what you are going to create and then what we are going to create together. Don't start it yet. And expand it up to the whole one. So we'll get this. So, and Judy, would you play some meditation movie music in the background? So just sit with the idea of what's your story? What has unity meant to you? And then imagine what we and individually can create together. Because we create, if I hear Mark right, and I've had a lot of conversations with Mark, we create from intention. We create from vision. We create from that vision paired with action. And also, we're spirit-driven, but we also get out of the way and allow what's spirit to do its spirit's job. And our job is to imagine what we're becoming. So go ahead and start it, James. And then just expand it up. And then Judy's just going to play in the background and just watch. This is our new home. As Mark said, we are in an era where we can step into our unlimited possibilities. The only limitation we have in front of us is the limitation in our mind. As we step into this individually and collectively and ask the question, what is mine to do? What is mine to give? What is mine to serve? We will collectively begin to create a world, which I love what James said last week, is a world that works for everyone. A world that works when our children wake up in the morning and say, what am I going to create today? Not filled with fear, but filled with a joy because we've created a world that works for them. So over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be asking you to make a commitment to what are you willing to give to our generosity initiative over the next 3 years. This is over and above what you already give generously to operate the church. When you come on Sunday, and I know many of you are not going to be here next Sunday. Some of you are going to be off on an elders retreat, and we hold you in prayer. And some of you are going to be off hiking someplace, and we're going to hold you in prayer that the bus works and that it's good weather, and we see everybody enjoying themselves out and feeling God in nature. And so we're going to, for 2 weeks, we're going to be taking our banner down. And as you drop your commitment, you're going to sign your name. And then that banner will be up for 3 years. And everybody making a commitment, whether it is 1 penny a week for 3 years or $100,000, it all comes from the same place. It comes from that place in your heart of what you're here to create. And so I ask you just to ask Spirit, and to move that tremendously long distance, that 18 inches that goes from here to here, or maybe it's about 12 inches, I don't know. For me, it's an infinite distance sometimes. So ask your heart, what is it that you're willing to give? And know that that's good, and there is no judgment on what it is you give, because all that we give from that same place. So over the next 2 weeks, that's what we're going to be up to. And that's it. We love you. We bless you. We behold the living presence of God in you. And I'm going to invite you all to get up, because when Andrea rocks out to this one, you're going to want to dance.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Reverend Ray. Happy Mother's Day. So y'all can dance or sing along, or go ahead. Express. I used to think that God was a big guy way up in the sky. Now I know that God is within us. She's in you and I. Now every time I feel like I'm shaking, I turn to the one. The infinite God is within us, created the sun. Oh yeah, now I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Now it's time to feel good. Hey, all right now. I used to think that God was a mean guy way up in the sky, punishing folks if they messed up or ate too much pie. But now I know that God is within us. He's in everyone. The glorious one who created the stars and the sun. on sunshine. Wow, I'm walking on sunshine. Wow, now it's time to feel good. Hey, all right now. Go ahead, mothers. I feel alive, I feel alive, I feel love, I really do. I feel alive, I feel alive, I feel love. Walking on sunshine, baby. Oh, walking on sunshine, baby. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, now it's time to feel good. Hey, now it's time to feel good. Hey, now it's time to feel good. Thank you.
And don't we feel good? All right. And now as our ushers come forward, we're going to take our gifts of love into our hands and we're going to infuse them. And it helps if I take it with me, but. And as we say together our prosperity proclamation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. And if you join us online, go to our donate button on our website, unityoflouisville.org. And now as we say our prosperity affirmation together. We are stewards of divine abundance. We give and receive with gratitude. And we send these gifts of love into the universe, seeing them multiplied, coming back into our whole with love and ease. And so it is. Amen. We have a lot going on. Today we have the community movie, The Why, and it'll be downstairs in the chapel after service. There's a lot of other stuff going on. If you haven't read your bulletin, make sure you do. We have a Breaking Bread this month at Chubby's Ray's. Starting in June, we're going to have a metaphysical Bible workshop. Thursday afternoon at 1. Our intern, Jim, is doing a Unity Foundations class, so you can join him for that. And so now, oh, flowers, yes, thank you. Wasn't, okay. Flower sale, there's some extras downstairs. If you didn't get to order your flowers, you can still get some. If you did order flowers and haven't picked them up yet, you'll go to the activity center and get them. Thursday, 6:30, here. Right. Advanced Commitment Program. It's going to be fun. 6:30. All right. And so now, please stand for our prayer for protection. And together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now for our peace song.
And 6:30 on Thursday, 6:30. Just want to add that we've added music, so me and Lisa will be playing some high energy music to kind of make the whole thing fun as well.
Namaste, y'all.